Falcon Zero here. Welcome back to my channel. Now, the last 2.5 years for the Nintendo Switch have been just what you can say amazing. They've pumped out a lot of really great games. But something I always like to do is look to the future and see what can come out next and what can be even better than the last 2.5 years that we've already had. So let's look at the games that I think might come out in 2020 for the Nintendo Switch. Okay, first, let's look at the games that we already know that are coming out in 2020. We have Animal Crossing New Horizon, which is due for March 20th, 2020. We have Bravely Default 2 by Square Enix that's coming out in 2020. Xenoblade Chronicles, the Definitive Edition, which is also slated for 2020 as well. And then we have the Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3 to be determined. Don't know if it's 2020 or not, but I think there is a good chance that at least one of those games will be coming out in 2020, if not both of them. Since the launch of the Switch, Nintendo's been pushing their IPs super hard. We've gotten Zelda, we've gotten Mario, we've gotten Splatoon, we've gotten Pokemon, we've gotten Fire Emblem, etc. The list keeps going on and on. Now, another IP that they haven't really done anything with yet, and for a pretty long time, is Pikmin. You know, Shigeru Miyamoto said Pikmin 4 was nearly done. That was when it was still on the Wii U. Is this a totally scrapped game, or will they rebuild it from the ground up? I don't know, but I think there is a good chance that we can hear something about Pikmin 4 and a 2020 release date on the Nintendo Switch. Now, another IP that Nintendo hasn't really touched for a long time is Star Fox. And yeah, he was on Star Fox Zero, but that wasn't the Star Fox game I think most fans were looking for. And yeah, Star Fox was also in Battle for Atlas, but that wasn't a true Star Fox game either. I want a true sequel to a Star Fox game, if it's from a sequel from Star Fox Zero, or just any of the stories that they've gone from Assault, Dinosaur Planet, or even Star Fox 64. However they want to handle the Star Fox series, I want to see a Star Fox game on the Nintendo Switch. Probably a little bit more open world, kind of like maybe Battle for Atlas, and maybe a little bit of like Rogue Squadron on those type of games in there. Doesn't always just have to be an on-rail shooter. Maybe you have missions that you're flying through the ship, but that is something I would like to see on the Nintendo Switch, and I could see them doing something with Star Fox in 2020. And since this is my list and I get to make the rules on this, let's get a little crazy here. I'm going to say Bayonetta 3 and Metroid Prime 4 both come out in 2020 just so they can have that leg. Bam, the Switch is going to have a jam-packed year. Bayonetta 3 is going to be released. Metroid Prime 4 is going to be released, and they're just going to be like, knock your socks off, here we go. And that's not even done yet. And now we're still getting a little crazy. Let's just keep it continuing here as Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes here. And they're going to put the Generation 4 Pokemon in it. They're going to update the National Dex with Sword and Shield because everyone would like that. That could be another thing that I could see. And Pokemon's been releasing games every year. Do we think Game Freak will take off a year? Maybe, but I also think that we could see a remake of Diamond and Pearl come out, if not a Let's Go game. But I think Diamond and Pearl have a higher chance of getting pushed out in 2020. And for the last game that I think that the Nintendo Switch can have come out in 2020 is Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 this holiday. They're going to want to compete with Microsoft and Sony with their new consoles coming out. We can maybe see a new Switch revision, but I think to do that, they're going to be like, nope, we're going to push Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 this holiday. Everyone's going to want to go play the new Zelda game, and I really feel like it can be slated for a late 2020, either late November, early December, Breath of the Wild 2. I think that's how Nintendo will close out this year. Let me know what games you think the Nintendo Switch is going to be pushing out this year. Leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, smash that like button as it really helps out, and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date with the videos like this. And as always, everyone of YouTube, show me your moves.